Hey guys, it's time for Tech News Day. Alone. Because I just got back from Iceland. I'm still very jet lagged. Ricky's over in Florida sipping Coors Light on the Redneck Riviera. I did call up my buddy Phil to come fill in for Ricky, and well, he couldn't do it either, so it's just you and me this time. Anyway, let's just get through this together. Lots of news this week. Let's see. Oh, great. So yeah, just after we congratulated Elon Musk last week for not saying any more stupid shit online, he is fully back on his bullshit for no discernible reason. And it's not even new material this time. He's just back to accusing that British cave diver who dissed him and his child submarine coffin of being a pedophile. Again. Didn't go so well for Elon the first time around. I don't know, maybe this time it'll go differently. And turns out people still think that this is batshit crazy and unbecoming behavior for any person, much less the CEO of a company that's already drowning in fuck-ups over the last few months. So it all started literally as I was editing last week's video where we were commenting on how Elon had made it an entire week without getting himself in trouble on Twitter and how it seemed like he might even be doing some much needed chilling the fuck out for once in his life. But no, Elon took time off from his 120-hour work week to start tweeting about how that New York Times interview that came out a few weeks back, it was actually inaccurate, guys. Elon had not, as the article stated, choked up a bit while talking about how difficult his life has been recently. No. His voice had merely cracked a little bit. Elon did not cry. He does not cry. Let the record show. Now, in the midst of this, tech writer Drew Olenoff, with the Twitter handle @Yoda, he jumped in and tweeted to Elon, "One other thing, Elon, your dedication to facts and truth would have been wonderful if applied to that time when you called someone a pedo." Now, Elon, careful. That's bait. No, don't. You don't think it's strange he hasn't sued me? He was offered free legal services, and you call yourself Yoda. That's my Elon Musk voice. And I might keep doing it this episode, I don't know. And look, here comes some guy named Lynn Wood replying to that tweet with, Elon Musk should check his mail before tweeting. And that had a screenshot attached of a letter that Lynn Wood, a lawyer representing accused pedo Vernon Unsworth, had sent to Elon Musk back on August 6th, letting him know that Elon's about to be sued for libel unless they all sit down and work something out. Yeah, why hasn't he sued me yet? Oh, he is suing me. Oh, and I could have just avoided all of this if I just checked my mail and called this lawyer guy up. And I could have avoided that if I just not called the guy a pedophile. Because I was angry that he got to help the kids and not me. Yeah, pretty fucking unavoidable. Whoops. So, once again, we reach a point where new information has come to light. And, any sane person would do well to simply shut the fuck up and not keep digging their hole even deeper. But this is Elon Musk we're talking about here, so of course that's not what he did. In fact, he ran back to the shed to grab an even bigger shovel. Ryan Mack of BuzzFeed News reached out to Musk over email to ask for a comment on, that letter that he'd received from Vernon Unsworth's lawyer, and, well, they ended up having quite the conversation. Now, by the way, it should be noted that even though BuzzFeed.com gets rightfully shit on for just being a bunch of shitty quizzes and listicles, BuzzFeed News is actually a legit news operation with lots of good writers, and they've even broken a few important stories. They do good work. Anyway, in response to Ryan Mack's perfectly polite initial email, Musk replied, "Have you actually done any research at all? For example, you incorrectly state that he is a diver, which shows that you know essentially nothing and have not even bothered to research basic facts." I'm going to stop using that voice now. Anyway, we're off to a great start with this email chain. Great. Mac then replies, "Hey, Elon, thanks for getting back. Actually, he prefers to be called a spelunker, and we've confirmed that he actually does do cave diving. But do you have any comment on the letter that you received?" There was no response, so Mac followed up again the next day with, "Hey Elon, just wanted to make sure I did my due diligence to research basic facts and follow up here. Thanks." Soon after that email, Elon responded with, "Off the record, I suggest that you call people you know in Thailand, find out what's actually going on, and stop defending child rapists, you fucking asshole. He's an old, single white guy from England who's been traveling to or living in Thailand for 30 to 40 years, mostly Pattaya Beach, until moving to Chiang Rai for a child bride who was about 12 years old at the time. There's only one reason people go to Pattaya Beach. It isn't where you'd go for caves, but it is where you'd go for something else. Chiang Rai is renowned for child sex trafficking. He may claim to know how to cave dive, but he wasn't on the cave dive rescue team, and most of the actual dive team refused to hang out with him. I wonder why. As for this alleged threat of a lawsuit which magically appeared when I raised the issue, nothing was sent or raised beforehand. I fucking hope he sues me. Go on. And yeah, he literally just pasted a link to a Google search of Chiang Rai child trafficking in there. Nice. So a few minutes later, Musk fired off another email where he defended his little rescue submarine that ended up not getting used and, said it would have totally saved the day if the water levels had just been a little bit higher. And he also said that he never saw Vern Unsworth at any point during his visit. And he was actually told that Unsworth had been banned from the site. That's just what I heard. Mac then replied, letting Elon know that the concept of off-the-record conversations with journalists usually requires both parties to actually agree to that, which Mac never agreed to. And he also asked Musk for literally any evidence that he had to back up any of his claims, to which Musk replied that, no, actually, if I say off the record, that means off the record, buddy. This is like totally an accepted rule of journalism. But Elon, it isn't. So let's check the NYU Journalism Department's ethics handbook. These are prearranged agreements between a reporter and a source which govern how specific information can be used. These deals must be agreed to beforehand, never after. Okay, so maybe not, but whatever. If you wanted to say shit off the record, you probably really should have clarified that beforehand and get Ryan Mac to actually agree to those ground rules and terms before you go off about how you're 100% certain that Vernon Unsworth is a child rapist. Again. And then, in the interest of journalism, Ryan Mac, he reached out to other sources to verify Musk's claims from those emails. He spoke with multiple other cave divers from the rescue operation who denied that Vernon Unsworth had been kicked off the site, and all said that he was pivotal to the operation, absolutely vital to the mission, and that the rescue wouldn't have happened without Unsworth recommending the British cave rescuers who showed up and carried out the actual rescue. Mac could not find any evidence of a criminal record for Unsworth in either the UK or Thailand, but did discover that Vernon Unsworth isn't married to a 12-year-old. In fact, he's been dating a 40-year-old Thai woman for the last 7 years, and according to other outlets who've looked into it, the two of them didn't even meet in Thailand. They met in the UK. And they spent half the year there in the UK and half the year in Thailand. So again, as people have been saying, since this whole stupid saga began, if you've got evidence that this guy is in fact a sex criminal, please feel free to share that evidence. Preferably with law enforcement. If you do that, you'll actually get to be a hero this time. Unless, of course, you're just lying because you're butthurt about a guy saying that your submarine sucked. In which case, you might want to actually just shut the fuck up and move on. You've got other shit to attend to, like running your fucking car company and finding comfortable places to nap on the factory floor because you insist on working 120 hours a week. All right, that's enough Elon bullshit for 1 week. I'm sure we'll be hearing more from him. But hey, there's plenty more non-Elon bullshit coming out of our nation's capital, where representatives for Facebook and Twitter showed up to answer questions from Congress about combating online election interference and also whether or not conservatives are being censored on social media or something. Congressional hearings, usually pretty boring. But this time around, InfoWars host and transgender pornography enthusiast Alex Jones, he was there at the Capitol building, and during a recess in the hearing, because Rubio's gay, I guess? I don't know. This is the dumbest fucking timeline. Kill me now. Elsewhere, alt-right lunatic grifter Laura Loomer also managed to get into the audience for one of these hearings, but she was pretty much immediately kicked out because she stood up and started squawking, "President Trump, help us!"
And you'll need to relieve.
Donald Trump, help us. Please help us, Mr. President, before it is too late. Because Jack Dorsey is trying to influence the election.
Just generally being disruptive. So unlike Marco Rubio, though, who is spineless, Representative Billy Long of Missouri, he told security to get her out of there, and then he did a really good auctioneer impression until she was out of the room. It was pretty glorious. Check this out.
That is why he is censoring and shadow banning.
How about it in? 12 and a half, 15, 7 and a half, $20, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 30. Hit $30 down here, 2 and a half, 5, 35, 7 and a half, 40. Hit $40, 2 and a half, 5, 5, 45, 7 and a half, 50. Hit $50 down here, 2 and a half.
Officer, will you escort this young lady out, please?
Hit 2 and a half now, 5, 65, 7 and a half, 70. Up 2 and a half now, 5, 75, 7 and a half, $80 to 5, 85, 90. Hit $100 and a 10, 10, 10 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter, 1 and a half, and about 2, 2 and a quarter. Hit 2 and a half, and about 3, able to bomb 300. Hit 3 and a quarter. Cut 3 and a quarter now, half, 3 and a half, and about 400. Hit but a 4, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. We're selling the cell phone there, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. Hit 4 and a half, 475, 505, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half. I yield back.
Nice. Anyways, as for the actual hearings, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey was there. Facebook Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg was there, and Google didn't bother sending anyone, which the members of the Senate Intelligence Committee saw as an insult. Twitter and Facebook defended their terms of service, apologized for their various previous failures. They insisted there wasn't any intentional anti-conservative shadow banning going on, just bad algorithms, and reiterated that actually policing a massive social media network is really hard. Well, for Facebook at least, that should be getting a little easier soon, because a new Pew Research poll shows that 26% of US Facebook users have deleted the app from their phone in the last year, and 42% have taken a break from checking Facebook for several weeks or more. In the 18 to 29-year-old range, 44% of that lucrative demographic say that they've deleted the app from their phones. So if it feels like Facebook is increasingly just a place where baby boomers share shitty memes and argue with each other and post pics of their grandkids, you're right, it actually is. We have the data. All right, that's it for this week's quick, shitty Tech News Day. Please go watch the latest episode of News Dump. Ricky got Tori to come back in. And also, if you haven't yet, watch It Came From Public Domain, where we sat down with Mr. Big Money Salvia himself, Internet Common Etiquette, to watch a bunch of really old public domain cartoons and videos. And yeah, the past was really weird. Check it out. Bye-bye.